Well, all right. I think I'm going to go ahead and get started because I know your time is valuable. So I'm going to let me first off say my name is Shelly Smith. I am not an expert, like at all. But and you're gonna find we got another one coming on. Let me make sure and introduce myself and everything. So you're gonna find throughout this whole experience that nobody here is an expert on all of this stuff. This is all we've been working on it the past couple of weeks, but there will be things that come up that you're going to need help with, and that is absolutely okay. And guess what? Your teacher's probably going to mess up some stuff too. we're nobody in the world ever thought that we would be doing this and that we would have been sitting at home for months at a time. So we're making the best of it, and as long as we can keep everybody healthy, I can assure you, and you're going to find this today, that everything your child, your student will be doing everything that the students in class are doing as well. Okay, we're very fortunate. The county was able to purchase some software, so whether you're on odd day, you're on even day, or you're a remote learner, your assignments are all the same. We're very lucky to be able to have that. So even though you made this choice to be able to stay at home, know that you're not going to be missing out on any instruction. It's all going to be the same thing. Okay. Which I know as a parent, that would make me feel a lot better. Okay. So we'll go ahead and get started. I've got a few things before we get really going. Have all of you guys, have you used Zoom before, or are you learning? And
no.
No.
I've
Okay.
used it with my job.
That is absolutely fine.
I use it for a language class with my tribe.
My
So
dad.
you're kind of familiar. Okay. So there's, if at any time, if you'll look down at the bottom of your screen, there is a chat button. If you start getting some feedback or people act like you're saying something but we can't hear you, there's also a mute button at the bottom left. If there's something that you want me to stop and answer a question and you would rather type it into chat, I have my chat screen up. I'm going to show you my screen after a few minutes so that you're going to be able to see everything, but I will just, whatever you got to do, tell me to stop and ask any questions that you have, okay? And also know that this is going to be recorded, so I can send you this recording later on if you want to stop and start and go back over it, okay? No questions. We want everything to be as clear as it can possibly be, okay? Is everybody ready to get started? All right. I'm going to attempt to share my screen if I know what I'm doing.
I apologize. Is Colin supposed to be in on this?
Yes, ma'am. All right. So this is, I should have said something in the beginning, huh? This is for all remote learners. So anybody that is going to be doing remote learning at Halls High School. So that is correct, yes. Now, if he is unavailable,
he's here. I was just making sure.
That's absolutely fine. So if he's unavailable, you can show him this later. I mean, either way is absolutely fine with me. Okay. Sometimes it's best if both of you are together and you say, "Oh yeah, you remember what she said?" And you can go back over it. All right. Are you guys looking at a screen that shows remote learning on it? No. What are you seeing? You're seeing something else.
All I'm seeing is the screen that shows all of us on it.
All right.
It's not showing shared screen yet. Now it is.
Okay. Good deal. Maybe I kind of know what I'm doing. I don't know.
Okay, come on, Tyler.
All right. So in the beginning, we're going to talk about just kind of what the responsibilities are. Now, at some point in time, you either should have gotten an email from me or from, I think, Mr. Kimball with a remote learning guide on it. Has everybody gotten an email from me at some point in time in the past few days? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, just checking to make sure that I have the correct email address. That's our primary mode of communication, because we don't want you to have to come up here. Y'all are at home because you want to stay away from the germs. So our primary mode of communication is going to be through email. So just make sure that you have my contact, and we can go from there. Okay. So this sheet where it says tips for families came directly out of that guide. I'm not going to go over it word for word, but basically, this is a whole new process for the student, for the teacher, for the parent, for everybody. As tips to be able to get off on a good start, create some type of routine. Okay, now, nobody is going to be checking at 8 a.m. to see if your child has logged on at that time. Okay, nowhere in there does it say that you have to log on at a specific time. So don't freak out about that, okay? Also, know that one of the questions that I've heard over and over again is, it says 7 hours. Is somebody going to be counting to see if we're doing 7 hours? Okay, that's no. Nobody's going to be looking and saying, oh my goodness, Jasmine only spent 6 hours and 15 minutes. She's fixing to get marked off. Okay? No. Because let me tell you why. The teacher is going to do an assignment just like they would do in the classroom. In the classroom, it took on average an hour and 20 minutes is typically what they get. Okay? It may take Jasmine 45 minutes to do it. Okay. It may take Tyler the full hour and 20 minutes. Okay. And that's absolutely fine. As both of them got the assignment completed, that's all we're worried about. Does that make sense? Okay. And it may be that today's assignment was easier for you and tomorrow's assignment takes a little bit longer. That's absolutely fine. Okay. So when they say 7 hours, it does not mean a hard and fast 7 hours, and that 7 hours does not have to happen from 8 until 3 p.m. It may be that, mom is working and using the laptop from 8 until 10, and son cannot get to it until later. That brings up another question. Somebody is always going to say, well, we don't have our laptop. Okay, the county is going to have Chromebooks available for you to be able to check out, but they are not ready yet. We're shooting for mid-September, okay? So the problem is that everybody in the whole entire nation was trying to buy Chromebooks at the same time, kind of like toilet paper and paper towels. Everybody was trying to buy at the same time, so it's taking a little bit longer, but the goal is to have them out mid-September. I will communicate with you whenever that becomes available, okay? So set some type of a routine with your child. Set some type of goals. Okay, talk to them this morning. Okay, what are you planning on working on today? Like I have an assignment, I have a paper due in English. Okay, just communicate with them about, what your goals are for that day, okay? Down on the next to the bottom, it says regularly review your child's grade updates in PowerSchool and Google Classroom. I'm going to show you how to do all of that, okay? You're going to be able to see exactly, is your child ahead? Are they behind? Are they on pace? Where are they, okay? And be patient and flexible. Be flexible with the teachers as well. We are learning. So all of us are in the beginning. We have started yesterday, assuming that Who knows? We may not be back in school tomorrow. Who knows? So we are trying to give you as much information so that you can take this and run with it. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and move on. All right, expectations for remote learning. You'll see at the very first thing that students are required to do or expected to do is to attend the remote learning orientation. That's what you're doing right now. Okay.
Yeah, and then we'll sign up for the. Oh,
So that
not your-
we're already moving on. You got a question?
no, Kylan was asking me a question. I forgot I wasn't on mute.
You're okay. You're okay. No problem. I'm just trying to make sure I'm doing what you need me to do. So you just keep going. All right. Let me make sure. Oh, I got one more trying to come in. Let me let her in. She's probably like, oh my gosh, Miss Shelley. Sorry, Miss Rogers. I forgot to look and make sure you were there. So she's coming in, but she hasn't missed anything major. Okay. Let's go ahead and keep going on the expectations. Are you still good seeing my screen? Yes? Okay, good. All right. So, families, now one thing on the student list, it says kind of towards the bottom, join live instructional sessions during scheduled time. All right. Most of the time, there will not be, like, you will not be required to join in on a Zoom meeting every day. You may have special days where they do want you to Zoom in. Let me give you an example of when that might happen. Like, let's say you're a senior or a junior, and we're not going to have college admissions counselors coming to our building. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a Zoom meeting, and I'll say, okay, anybody interested in attending UT Martin, I need you to join on this Zoom meeting at 10 a.m. on Monday. Okay. So there might be a scheduled time to attend something like that, but it's not going to be on a regular basis. Okay. So it's not like your child is going to have to get up and do something specific every day at a certain time. Okay. Families, the main thing you need to do is check in with them regularly. This is going to be, a whole new experience. Kind of check with them, say, okay, where are you on this? And I'll tell you, I've got a child that's in school today, and probably one of the things I'm going to do is I'm going to, once a week or so, I'm going to say, log in, show me where you are, just so I know what's going on, so that he knows that I'm looking, and say, okay, what can I do to help? Where are we? Did you get stuck on, a certain lesson? Are you behind? Are you ahead? That's just a good thing for the parents to do, especially in the beginning once we're establishing a routine. Okay? All right. Things to remember. You will not have a live teacher teaching every day. They will be doing lessons through Google and or Edmentum. Okay, I'm going to show you both of those programs in just a few minutes. Google or Edmentum, it depends on the class as to exactly where the lessons are going to be assigned. They could be assigned in both places. And let me tell you why. Okay, the county purchased software program called Edmentum. Edmentum is wonderful. It's been used for years and years and years. And it is geared directly towards Tennessee standards. So it is, exactly what our kids need to be learning. But not every single class that we offer at Halls High School is in Edmentum. For example, we teach landscaping and turf. Landscaping and turf is not in Edmentum. So that teacher is going to have to deliver the majority of her lessons through Google. Okay. So the teacher will post a syllabus saying your student's grade is going to come from this and this and this. Okay. Now, but just know that the majority of them, like English, math, science, history, all those are in Edmentum, and that's going to be the primary place that they go and they learn. Okay? All right. Communication is key. I would suggest in these next few days to get the student used to communicating with their teacher via email. Post something, tell them to just check in and say hi. These teachers are dying to speak with you. They want to be with you. They miss you, something awful. So say hi to them. They are starving to talk to these babies. So check in with them, say hi. Do that, every so often. They want to know who you are and what's going on. That's the reason why we come to work every day. It's for the kids, and it's for the kids all the time. So check in with them. Okay, communication is the key. And I sent an email today that had a link with all the teachers' email addresses. That's a good page to save for later. Okay. Teachers will have office hours each day, but it depends. It depends on their planning period. Ms. Moore may have first block planning period, and then Coach Rodriguez may have third block planning period. So if you email them, they will get back with you in at least within 24 hours. It might be early or it might be late. Okay, just check with the teacher. Okay, and you guys will be enrolled in remote learning until October 3rd. Okay, the end of that first 9 weeks. If at that time you decide, you know what, things are better, the coronavirus is not being transmitted as much, and we'd rather come on back to school, that's absolutely fine. Okay, so that's completely up to you. And just know they will not be behind when they come back, because whether you're on even day, odd day, or remote, you're all doing the exact same lesson. Okay, no worries about that. All right, y'all are y'all feeling okay right now? Just give me a thumbs up, or everybody going okay? All right. Okay.
Yes.
Great. Wonderful. So knowing that we won't have a Chromebook until mid-September, you can do all of these things it can be done on a phone. Now, for me, because I can't see very well and I have fat fingers, it's probably not very optimum for me to do it on a phone, because I can't type very well and I can't see that video. But now some of the kids have these iPhone Pluses and they almost look like an iPad. So it can be done on that. Of course, it's better. You can see better and you can type better if it's a bigger device. If you have an iPad, a laptop, a desktop, any of those things, okay? Basically, if you can get to the internet, it'll do it, all right? Now, you might want to, which I'm going to send you a video of this, but you might want to jot this down or take a picture of it with your phone, however you want to do it. The student's Google email and password. All right, I emailed you today a copy of their schedule, and in the top right, there was a handwritten set of numbers. That is their student ID number, okay? So their email is going to be their first name, their legal first name. So, for example, if it's Alexander, but he goes by Alex, it's the Alexander dot last name, okay, at k12.lced.net, and that's an L, not an I. That stands for like Lauderdale County Education Department or something. Anyway, so that's what that is, okay? And then the password is your last name and student ID number. Okay, so look at the example. That's my child down at the bottom. carson.kimball@k12.lced.net, and then his password would be Kimball 1234567. Okay. All right. Does everybody have that jotted down? That's
Question.
probably, yes.
So are these emails already set up for them?
You know what? There's one person that they have not set up yet. You want to know who it is?
Who?
Kylan Beard. I just emailed them about that right before I got on here because I said to myself, Kylan's not going to be able to log in.
But his will be beard.kylan.
Yes.
Okay.
It will be Kylan.beard. I think I put it on that email wrong. It's first
I
name
thought it was-
dot last name.
So it's first name dot last name.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, Kylan.beard. So, because I was just telling him in order to communicate with his teachers, he had to set up an email. So actually, after they get this set up, he won't have to set up another email. He could just use this one, Kylan.beard at.
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
That would be perfect.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Isn't
that's
that
the email.
handy?
That's the email he can
for everything.
Mhm. communicate with his teachers and everything.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Isn't that great? It's already set up for you, except they didn't set up here. Yeah, one kid in the whole school that we don't have done yet. Yeah. And I emailed that to her a few days ago, and she, I guess, they're swamped. So
Right.
I emailed them again and said, please do that. So I will make sure, and just as soon as I get the go ahead, I will email you and let you know.
Okay.
All right. Hopefully that will happen quickly.
Okay.
All right. So let's move on a little bit further. All right. Now I'm gonna switch from this. This was a video, but I'm gonna go and actually walk you through it. Just because. All right.
Michelle, I got a question real quick.
Sure. Please.
Because of the situation I was telling you with us
Yes.
being robbed and all, that's the reason that I changed the boys at the last minute on doing the remote learning. So I need to provide for their devices myself, or did I? Because I missed a deadline for the school, right?
Well, let me talk to you after we're done, and we'll work something out. Okay. All right. I'm gonna write myself a note to call you when I get finished. So if I forget, holler for me. Okay. And we'll work all that out. Okay.
Okay.
So are y'all
I'm sorry.
Are y'all looking at a Google screen?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, great.
Yes.
Just making sure I'm not losing you. Okay. So, all right. What you are going to do, we purchased basically 3 different pieces of software. The first one is called Clever. Okay. Now, Clever, all Clever is a place to sign in. It's called a single sign-on, and that's all it does. So basically, you only have to know one username and password, and that's all. Now, I'm going to tell you where to type in. And I sent it in that email. clever.com/in/Lauderdale. And that link is in the email. Okay. When you pull that website up, it's going to look like this. Cute little girl with a pink bow in her hair. Okay. And it should say Lauderdale County School District. If it doesn't, something's not right. Okay. So what you're going to do is they're going to log in with Google. All right. I am going to, because you may already have a Google account, and these kids may already have one, come down here and click Use Another Account. Okay. I'm going to see if it lets me put my sons in there as an example. We'll see. Okay. Remember, first dot last, and then the password is last name and his student ID number, if I can remember it. That's the hard part. Okay, so this is the main screen. Okay. Remember, all Clever does is get you logged in. That's all it's for. So you only have to remember one username and one password. So when somebody says, how do I get to Edmentum? You go to Clever. How do I get to my Google Classroom? You go to Clever. Okay. All it's through, everything's through Clever. All right. So there are some teacher pages there. I don't really know what they have on them, but if you wanted to browse and look, you can. The county's website is there. Of course, the kids probably won't use it. The main things that they're going to use are Google Classroom and Edmentum. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and click on Google Classroom so that you can see an example. All right. It may ask you to type that information in again, but you see, after the first time that I logged in, it remembered it. Okay. So all I have to do is click Go to Google Classroom. All right. Now it's going to make me, once again, verify that account. And here I am. And when your students log in, they're going to see a whole bunch of stuff like this. And they're going to go, oh my gosh, there's so much work to do. Some of these are so everybody should have remote learners. And I should have added him to that. Everybody should be a part of a group called HHS Remote Learners. All right. And that is not for a grade. I'm not going to grade it. It's just to be, it's a way to do announcements for all the remote learners. Okay. That's so I can click on it and send a message to all of you guys. Also, you can communicate. So you're also going to be, if you're a sophomore, you're going to be invited to a class of 2023. Okay, I may do announcements about sophomores. If you're a senior, you're gonna be invited to a class of 2021. And in there, I'll put announcements like, okay, you got to buy your cap and gown you got to pay for it on Tuesday. There's going to be, like I said before, there's going to be a Zoom meeting from a representative from UT Martin. I'll put all those announcements in there. You will not have a grade in any of my classes. I don't do grades. But this is what it looks like, okay? You see, my son is a junior, so he's a member of the class of 2022. The stream is kind of like your social media page, if that makes sense. There'll be things that go on down, but the only thing that I have posted in there right now is a copy of my virtual office. And in there, you can click around and look if you want to. There's links to ACT pages. There's a picture of Sadie. There's links to Power School. There's links to ACT. You just click on them and it'll take you to directly to those websites, okay? That's just for information. Now, let me come back. Over here, we're still in Google Classroom. I'm going to click, let's just click back. Here we go. All right. So you may also have a classroom with your advisor. Miss Camp is his advisor. Again, that's just for information. You see, she posted a few things. She did an orientation. She did a tutorial, clever login, just some information for you to be able to do. Now, if I go into some of his classes, he may already, looks like he's already got some stuff that's due. Ooh, they got work to do already. Isn't that fun? I know. I can just hear him right now. Are all the kids excited or what? He's doing a thumbs down.
Boy, yeah, they're all giving me a hard time.
No. Hey, we have to give you an assignment so that you'll know how to do it, right? Like, we can't just sit around and we just know in the beginning we are going to be learning, okay? Nothing that you're doing right now is going to be so difficult that you can't get it done.
Yeah.
It's just
they're mad because they want to be in school. They want to be in class. And they don't want to do all the.
Yeah, I get it. And it is. It's like, oh my gosh, it's overwhelming. But you can see those things are already in there, and you can go ahead and get started. Now, to maneuver between your classes, okay, there's different ways that you can do it. You see, I kind of did that back button. That's fine. There's also, if you look at the 3 lines here on the left, you can go to classes, and I see all of the classes that he's involved in, and he can go through there and look, he's got some more work. Coach King put the syllabus in there, so I can go in and look at exactly how Coach King is going to be doing his classes. And you see here's a little note from him, how the grades are going to be done, all that kind of stuff. Use the next few days to kind of go through those things and just get accustomed to it all, okay? Now, also, over here on the right, and I don't even know what they call this thing is. Somebody called it a while ago. It said it looked like a waffle. So I call it the waffle. I don't know. That's what they called it. It looks like kind of like a Rubik's Cube or a waffle or whatever you want to call it. But if you click on that, it gives you all the apps that are available under Google, okay? And just know that every single one of these things is an app that you can download on your phone. And I would recommend at least downloading the Google Classroom, because anytime a teacher posts something, if you have that app on your phone, it will come up and beep. It'll say, Coach King posted a new assignment, blah, 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 blah. Also in Google Calendar, your classes, so I would download those 2 at least, because they will give you notifications on your phone to tell you when things are due, all right? And I'll go to those in just a second, okay? Of course, Gmail is what you think it is. That's where you go to the email, okay? Now, Google Drive, that is where everything, the holding spot, that's like your hard drive, okay? And all of this is backed up to the cloud. So it's saved. If you lose your phone or you lose, your laptop dies or whatever, it's all still going to be on that Google Drive, which is great. Okay. The classroom, that's where all of, all the classrooms were that we were just looking at. That was that main screen that we came to. Okay. Google Docs, that is the same thing as like Microsoft Word. Whenever we go to type a letter or a paper, we do it in Microsoft Word. They're going to go in Google Docs, and it does the same thing, and it's free. Google Sheets, that is a spreadsheet like Excel, like an Excel document. Okay. Slides, that's like PowerPoint. So it's the same kind of thing. Meet is like Zoom. We're Zooming right now, but it's very similar that you can do that on Meet. Okay. So those are the things that you kind of need to look through on there. Those are the main things that we're going to be using. Okay. Now, before I move on, let me know, how do you feel about it so far?
Good.
Besides the kids freaking out that they have work to do. And I just, okay. All right. So let's move on to Edmentum. Okay. Let me check my list and make sure I got everything. Okay. We're logged in. We went to Google Classroom. Now, if you look up here, that Clever Portal tab is still there. So remember, Clever is the place that I go to everything. Okay. So we're done with Google Classroom. Now we're going to go into Edmentum. Now this is going to be the stuff that's probably new to the students. And I haven't even looked at what Carson's been assigned, but here he is. Okay. So he has been assigned an activity in pre-calculus. He's been assigned an activity in ACT prep. He's been assigned something in chemistry. Bless his heart, he's got lots of work to do. Okay. He's probably already freaking out. So I'm not going to go into these. Let me go back over here because I don't want to mess with his assignment. He'd fail if I touched him. It's been way too long for me. So let me log into this example. Let me get back into my example. Can you see me now still?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. All right. I don't want to take a tour. Taking its own sweet time. Sorry. Okay. Let me go back to this little PowerPoint, and then you'll actually be able to see kind of what grades look like. Because he had not actually started anything, so it didn't have anything fun to look at, like bad grades or good grades, you know. All right. Let's see. Okay. I'm gonna start right there. All right. Are you looking hopefully at a screen that says Brittany Peterson at the top?
Yes, ma'am.
Great. Okay. All right. Here's this little darling Brittany Peterson. I don't know her, but she looks like she's a little bit behind. Okay. And I can tell that by this, but also, well, it tells me. Now, this one right here, she has started this assignment. And I can tell because it says continue and it has a current grade. Okay. The current grade on that assignment is an 80. Okay. Now, the course grade is a 5 or 4.57. Okay. Don't freak out about that because guess what? That is the grade for the whole entire semester or whole entire year. In the beginning, it's going to be a big fat 0 because they haven't even started, right? So don't panic about that. As the semester goes along, of course that will go up. All right. Now this one she has not started yet at all because there is no grade to show, and that's a new activity for her to go through. Okay. Now let me show you. After you click on that one, I can tell there's some things over here on the left. I can tell that she's done the introduction. She's done the comparing subject and theme in fiction. And right now she's working on constructing a theme. Okay, so I can tell the grayed out parts that she hasn't gotten to yet. Okay, now below the table of contents, there's a place for you to type in notes. If you would like to type in notes, they can type in notes there. Now, that is not something that's graded. If you'd like to do like me, I like doing it on a regular piece of paper. I just like writing it out. If you want to write it out, that's absolutely fine. Okay, this is just handy if you would like to be able to do that. Now, in some of the lessons, there are some resources. For example, this one says guided notes. Now, if you ask your students, a lot of teachers do guided notes. And what that is it kind of, it keeps the students on track, and it also lets them know what things are important in the lesson. Okay? So basically, they have to fill in parts of, they would fill in parts as the teacher or as the lesson is going along. If you'd like to print that off and have that for your students to be able to use as they go forward, that's absolutely fine. If you'd like to save it and have them type it in, that's cool too. Okay? All right, next, let's say they're reading something, they're going through, and they come to a word that they don't understand. It's not like you're in class and you have to raise your hand and you kind of feel stupid because you don't know what that word is. You've got a dictionary right there available to you. You can copy and paste, and then it'll look up that word for you. If your student would like to have something read to them, like say they have a difficult time reading and comprehending, it will read this to you. And this one, all you have to do is come over and click the play button, and it automatically starts reading this information to you. That's better than what you would get in class too. It's awesome. I think you can also pick if you want a man to read it or a woman to read it. So they have a woman voice and a man voice, whichever one you prefer. Pretty handy. And I don't know if any of you speak a different language, but if their primary language was not English, and like, for example, like say, we have some Spanish speaking students, all you would have to do is click and drag on what you want to copy, and you paste it over here, click translate, and look, it puts it in Spanish right there for them. I think it translates into like 32 different languages. There's Arabic and Japanese and all kinds of stuff on there. If that's something that you need, it's right there and it's available. Below that's a highlighter. I know certain students, they like to highlight specific things as they're going through the text. That is all available in Edmentum as well. It's pretty handy. Now, Edmentum, let me tell you what they have said about Edmentum. It is designed to keep their attention. They have said that you will not go through more than 2 slides without them asking the student to do something. Watch a video. Click and drag on this. Match this up. They have music. They have bright colors, pictures, things to keep them engaged so it's not boring. Okay? Sound, all kinds of different things for them to be able to do. So it's not going to be like they're sitting there reading a book, because that's, that can get dull after a while. So this is pretty handy. All right. Now, if you get the student to log in, which I would do probably about once a week, just say, okay, where are you? Across the top, there's a few things that you can look at. If you click on all my work, it's going to have the main one. The first one was just the active assignment. If you click on all my work, it's going to have all the past assignments included. Okay. So for this student, I'm looking as a parent, I see that she's a little bit behind. Okay. Current grade in this assignment is an 80. Overall, remember that overall grade will go up as they go along. Okay. That's how you can see that information. Also, if they typed in any notes, all those are available for them to go back and look at any time. Messages, if they wanted to message in Edmisum, they can. Most of the time, they're going to email probably. They probably email their teacher, but they can also do that in Edmisum as well. Okay? All right. Let me say on this slide, I was very careful with my wording. I said when problems arise. I didn't say if. Because we are all going to have issues. Teachers are going to have, students are going to have issues. We're all going to have issues. So I said when you have a problem. I didn't say it. Contact your teacher via email, okay? Learn those email addresses. Contact them and say, I am stuck on lesson 1 tutorial and I don't understand what in the world's going on, or whatever, okay? They are going to be the ones that are going to know the best about the assignment that they gave you, okay? And remember, getting started is going to be the hardest part. Just getting started. If we make it through this a couple more weeks, you're going to feel a little bit better. It's just going to be the beginning that's going to feel real funny, okay? But the teacher is going to be the first person that you need to contact. Then if the teacher can't figure it out, then we will go up the chain and figure out what's going on next, okay? So start with them, and that's another way to be able to talk to them. Like I said, they want to hear from you. Okay. I know the kids are skipping and are smiling and they're ready to get to work. They can't wait. So, I know.
It's not up because mine are, they're bouncing off the walls and playing games.
But you can. So what I would do, I sent that email today. Let me go ahead and unshare my little thing here if I can. I sent that email today. Stop share. And I said step 1, step 2, step 3. So step 1, go to Clever. Step 2, go ahead and log in to those Google Classrooms. You'll have to join the classroom, kind of look around in there, play, kind of see what's going on. You can even talk to, so basically these students are in the same classes with even day kids and with odd day kids. So they're going to ask questions in the classroom just like they were all sitting together. Okay. Post a question, talk to them, say, hi, I've missed everybody, get that communication kind of going. And then they can go ahead and get started with lessons.
You said the students, they can do it on their cell phones?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Or
it will work on anywhere you have internet. Now, I read, like being able to read really well on a cell phone or be able to type a paper on a cell phone is probably not optimal.